and I will hold you so near to me again. I'm coming home.
Are you ready, WIP fam?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in the Metaverse for all to see?
WIP Meetup!
Hosted by Matthew and Rizzle with glee.
WIP Meetup!
His speakers and alpha be something you wish.
WIP Meetup!
Then drop into a world you won't want to miss.
WIP Meetup!
Ready? The WIP Meetup. The WIP Meetup. The WIP Meetup. The WIP Meetup. There we go.
TikTok, motherfucker!
Thank you, Samuel. What up, y'all? This is Matthew. Yo, first of all, big shout out Sandy Meows, back home, WIP crew, legend. Let's get it. I'm so happy you're here, Sandy. Saw you peeking into the Foxing Yoga, Matthew and Rizzle show listening party yesterday. So I was like, is Sandy going to come today? And you're here. And it's like, yeah, we're finally a family again. Love it. Love to see it. Anyway, WIP fam. Like I said, this is Matthew, aka Nifty Time. I'm choking up a little bit, holding back some emotional tears over here. But at the same time, in the heart of Furryland, aka Decentraland, with some crazy folks. Make sure you jump into the Decentraland link that we're sharing with everyone. Hop in there. It's a crazy time. Catch me and my Brian Brinkman and Cody Drip. But I'm super excited for the show today. Not only Sandy Meows back in the house, but we have a grip of brand new projects I'm really personally excited to share with y'all, to hear about, to get to know, and introduce to everyone here. First up, we're going to have Mato, who's going to be talking about HyperCastle Explorers, but also kind of unpacking what's going on with math castles and terraforms. Brand new project, super crazy complex, but a lot to dive into there. I want to shout out Griffin from UTA for the alpha for this project. Also, we have Amir Alek here to talk about Metaverse alliances, all the way from Dubai. He's staying up late for this in the middle of a party. And we have Art or Die here, and there's going to be some like battle royale with Flyfrogs and WIP crew and Rizzle or something in DCL. I have no idea what to expect with that one, but super stoked for it. And one quick show before I pass the mic to the hype master of the Metaverse. Make sure you check out the episode that Rizzle and I recorded with Fox Yoga about mindfulness, meditation in the Metaverse coming up, all the good stuff. It's one of my favorite episodes, so check that out, please. Big shout out to Foxy Yoga, bringing mindfulness to the Metaverse. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic to my dude, Rizzle, to take it away and get us all hyped for today's show.
Thank you, man. Can y'all hear me right? Give me a sign. Yes, right on. I'm like recovering from some sort of like disease that my daughter gave me, so bear with me. Yo, Sandy Meows, back in the house. So happy to have you back, and bringing the fire early on. We managed without you, but like it's like the fam is back together. So totally respect that people need to take time off and do their thing and step away and whatever. But like it feels right. So welcome back, Sandy. So happy to have you back. Let's see, a few things. So BB Studios got rugged, who is like a presenter today. For some reason, either Discord hates him or he hates Discord, but we're doing this Flyfrog competition and he's winning. And he's not here to defend himself, so I'm like against him. So if you hop into Decentraland, you essentially vote with your POAP, and there's two frogs. There's a frog. There's actually a community fly frog from the community wallet under my name, and BB Studios put up one under his name. And so these frogs are battling to the death. So it's the same POAP no matter which frog you vote for, but whichever frog wins I made up the death part for what it's worth. It just sounds more exciting when, like, frog death is on the line. I don't think any frog actually dies. The losing frog actually gets sent to one of the voters. Yes, you might need to refresh if the pull-out machines aren't there. And you might need to get in quickly because I think there's only 250 pull-ups to go around. So if you don't see a pull-out machine next to the frogs, refresh your DCL window, and one should show up, and you only need to vote once. So it's the same pull-up no matter which one you vote. And if you try to vote twice, your second one won't count anyway. So it's not worth trying to like game the system or whatever, because BB Studios, despite not being able to figure out Discord, it worked some like really clever voting mechanism out in Decentraland. So it's cool. So you get a pull-up no matter which frog you vote for. Obviously, you should vote for mine, especially because I'm losing right now, and like I said, he's not here to defend himself. But don't tell him that when I win, assuming I win, if I win. And if I don't, we will never speak of this event again. So it should go on throughout the course of this event. I believe it will close afterwards. If you want to be eligible for the losing / potentially dead frog, you have to complete the social media challenge, which is, I think it pops up in the beginning. It's like tag BB Studios, WIP Meetup, it might be me as well. Leave your ETH address, and then you'll be raffled for the frog that does not fight as well, or whatever you want to call it. So let's see. So that's the competition. If BB Studios makes it in by the end, we'll let him speak and plead his case. And if not, then I'll continue to plead my case. Stick around throughout the course of the event. Carolina Duh, as always, has created a PO-op. There's a guest book around here somewhere. If it's not in DCL, we'll drop the link for y'all. We will take a group shot with Paradox if Paradox is back from wherever he was last week. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's about everything. Big shout out to the crew who makes this happen. None of us get paid for any of this. We do have the WIP Meetup. Oh, right on, Paradox. What's up? We do have the WIP Meetup.eth. So if you love the crew and what we do, feel free to love them with your money. Any money sent to that account gets automatically split up evenly throughout the entire cruise show. So I don't even know how to access that, because apparently that it might have happened at some point or whatever, but Matt needs to like tell us what to do or whatever, or maybe there's only like $2 in it or whatever. But so it doesn't matter. Regardless of whether you love us with your money or not, we'll still be here doing this thing week in, week out. Ooh, 2K in it. Very nice. Got some money to disperse to the crew. Speaking of the crew, Power Whip Girls and everybody else who make this happen week in, week out. Sandy Mouse, Carolina Duh, Foxy Yoga, Easy, Paradox, Show, Timmy, Dragonate, Conwolf, The Stowaway, Brookhawk, the Brookhawk. Yes, thank you all so much, the fam, for turning it out. Real quick, we're going to be at NFT NYC, a bunch of us, so we might actually take that day off from the virtual WIP and do some sort of like informal NYC WIP fam gathering. So if y'all are going to be in the area, we're shooting for like Thursday night. I forget what date that is, but yeah, we should figure it out. My mic sounds especially good today, which is so funny because I was just making this joke yesterday that I never change my mic settings. So like one day I get completely rugged and the next day it sounds like really great, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So it usually doesn't sound that good. I'm going to shut up now. I've been rambling on long enough. Thank you, as always, for listening to me do my thing. Let's see who we got up as first speaker here. I got to like spin around and try and cheat in world. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of people. It looks like I'm down 2 votes, but I'm doing all right. We're swinging back in. Who we got first speaker? Yes, go ahead. Help me out. Is it Mateo?
Matto, hey, thanks
Matto,
so much for having me. What's up, y'all? Very, very happy to be here. Thanks for Nifty Time for the invite. So I'm here to kind of talk about 2 projects. I've got 4 minutes, so I'm going to actually kind of power through a little bit. But basically, Terraforms by Math Castles is the project that my project, HyperCastle Explorer, is an extension of. So Terraforms by MathCastles is a on-chain generative land art project, which consists of 11,000 ASCII art animated on-chain SVGs that are also part of a invisible 3D hyperstructure. So each token will have like level 6 at 11.8. And so those are the X, Y, Z coordinates of that token in 3D space. And so the project is created by the MathCastle Studio, which consists of 0x11 and Exaltgeist, two anonymous developers. And we set out to create a project that would take that invisible part of the artwork and make it visible using a 3D game engine, in this case, the Unity game engine. So we actually created an NFT project called HyperCastle Explorers, where we built NFTs that kind of incorporate imagery from individual terraforms. So each one corresponds to one terraform, and they have these kind of like, they represent these this software SDK that we're building in a mix of like CDs and SD cards and kind of archaic physical media. And so I've actually just today released a 10-minute video that's a kind of a video essay that explains in more detail both Terraforms and HyperCastle Explorers. So I'll actually drop that right now in the general chat. There's a tweet, and there's also a link to our website and the Discord and everything there for people who want to dig in and watch the video and learn more. But to give just like a couple of quick updates about where we're at with the project and what's next. So we did our token sale, raised some ETH, and have been using those funds to build an open source piece of software, SDK, basically source code that runs on the Unity game engine to visualize terraforms. That's available on GitHub now. It's not completely finished, but the stuff that we've done so far is there. And then we're also building, using that code, an application, which is called HyperCastle Explorer, or singular, which allows you to fly around in 3D or 2D. There's kind of 3 different modes where you can explore this 3D structure. And that has been released via our Discord to our token holders for now during an alpha period this week and next week. And then actually next Friday, it will be released for free to everybody to download it and to explore. So we're super excited to get that out for everyone. And that's kind of our main focus right now, is we're kind of in active development, and you can see some footage of that in the video that I shared. And then in terms of future plans, the main thing that we're working on once the Explorer application and the SDK are done is we're talking with Gossamer Rosen, who has a project called Tiger Bob, which is a really awesome, charming pixel art tiger PFP project. And she's a great artist, just really huge fan of her work and of the project. And we're actually working with her to build a kind of a Metaverse style experience for the Tiger Bob collection that brings together HyperCastle Explorers, her project, and terraforms into this kind of 3-way meeting of things. So she's just started talking about that on Twitter. It's still kind of in progress, but that's something that we're excited to get started working on next. I think that's just about time for me. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I can take some questions in the chat or whatever if people want to learn more. Yeah, I've dropped some links in there. And yeah, just thanks so much for having me on, and excited to be here with y'all. I'm in Decentraland too. I got orange hair and a black suit on. So I'll jump around in there with y'all for a minute. And yeah, thanks again.
Love it. Dude, I can't believe you were able to condense all that into 4 minutes. Like, first of all, like, kudos on that. And I know there are some questions. Yeah. We have our expert question relayer, Show, who'll hit you with those questions from the audience. Show, take it away, man.
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
Yo.
So, the experience of going on a walking tour of something is a very unique thing. You know, like tours, going on tours like an aquarium or a museum. It's a very human experience, you know, and it's kind of funny, you know, outside looking in. Do you believe that providing guided or unguided tours of math castles will bring us into a new era of Web3 experiences?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I mean, I think the thing that I find really cool about the Math Castles project is that it's a 3D structure. It's like a place that is encoded directly on chain on Ethereum, right? So actually anyone could build an application that would allow you to visualize it, walk around in it, fly around in it, swim around in it, whatever you want to do, because of the permissionless nature of Ethereum. So I think that is a really kind of profound thing that they've done, and you know, that's part of the reason we're open sourcing the SDK, right? So that more people can build other things besides the thing that we've built.
That's cool. And lastly, what would you say is your dream, I guess, your dream form of tech in regards to this? What, or more, or better yet, what would you say is the dream outcome for this?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think I would love to see a thriving ecosystem of builders building interesting experiences around this kind of shared context, making money doing it, right? So they can sustain and pay their teams to do it. Collaborating, building together. You know, I think this collaboration with Tiger Bob is a really interesting example, right, of 3 projects coming together to build something. I think that's something kind of new to the Web3 space that you don't see, for example, in video games or whatever, where like multiple projects will create experiences together. So I'm super excited about that.
Awesome, and it's such a mind-blowing project. So I mean, all the projects that are working together, it's such a cool concept. So Mato, I want to thank you for staying up late, joining us. Thank you again for your time, and keep on creating, man.
My pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
Cool. And then next up, someone else who's staying late up into the night. Amir's here with us. And Amir, if you can hear us, unmute and take it away and introduce us to Metaverse Alliances.
Yes, sure. So this is Amir Alek. I'm from Metaverse Alliances. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the entity that we're building over there. I'm gonna share my screen with you right now to be more visual. So let me know when you can see me.
Cool. I can see your screen now.
Perfect. So Metaverse Alliances is basically, well, at the beginning, it started with being as a gaming as a service kind of community, which you have seen its business model in different guilds like YGG, CGU, and all those kind of entities. And as we moved on, we realized that there is much more opportunity than just empowering the gamers, you know? Like we can start creating different metaverse and Web3 communities like content creators or like football fantasy players, or right now we are jumping into the NFT music. So basically these communities that I'm talking about when it comes to the business model of the guilds is pretty specific. So basically what we do is that we believe gamers need to just play their own games, and they don't need to be investing a couple of dozens of dollars into different NFT gaming assets. While we believe that NFTs empower gamers, we also believe that we need like complex and sophisticated players, because like the gaming is becoming financialized and it is becoming gamified. So for that matter, we think that we need to have hedge funds in the metaverse. We need to have like complicated and complex investors in the metaverse. So one of the things that we do is basically like the scholarship programs. We have the renting the gaming assets to the players, different players, and they go out there and start mining the NFTs in the game and get the native tokens and the currency tokens. And right now it's a little bit on the dry spell, but we believe that the GameFi is going to be huge. Right now, the biggest problem that they have is that they don't know how to manage the economy of the girls, of the games, to be sustainable. You know, like the design incentives, the market incentives, the mechanisms need to be there. They haven't been able to do so. before Axie Infinity was really big, but we think that there is a huge roadmap in the head of the gaming ecosystem in Web3. So one of the other communities that we are working on is that artists. We believe that the NFTs have a huge promise. Right now, maybe they are like 2-3% of the whole blockchain market, but we need that. We believe that with the NFTs being comprehensive, going to the gaming, going to the music, going to the content creation, the culture, they're going to be really huge. So that's one of the avenues that we are really focusing on. So basically what we do is that we believe that artists, they don't need to know about, like what is the MetaMask, what are different wallets, what are the different blockchains, how to interact with Telos, all those complexities. We believe that they just need to do their work, which is creating art and beauty. So that's what we do. So we bring in the business development and the technical side, the blockchain knowledge to them, and they just work on their game, which is like creating metaverses and different virtual assets and different gaming experiences. One of the other communities that we are really big on, this is like a sneak peek of the gallery of the artists that we're working on, mostly on Sandbox, Decentraland, or concept artists for concept art for the NFTs. One of the biggest platforms that we're really bullish on is Sorare, because we believe that it is, somehow transforming one of the biggest industry that is like EV minus game, which is the sports betting. We believe that in sports betting, the retail investor is always losing in the long term. So to be able to bring the NFTs to the gaming, when it comes to the gaming football manager, or as you call it in United States soccer, it is really big. It is empowering the football fans, and it is also creating this kind of two-way relationship between the football player and the clubs and the owners of the game. We bring in the football enthusiasts together, and we do the technical stuff when it comes to that community as well. So basically, these are like the I guess I'm overextending my time, but yeah, this is like basically what the idea behind Metaverse Alliances is. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Perfect timing. Samuel was just there to give you guidance on the time. Anyway, we have a couple questions from the audience, so I'll pass the mic to Sho to hit you in the face with those questions.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's up?
Good. So each region of the world is experiencing Web3 and DeFi very differently. What has the experience been like for you so far?
Yeah, basically when it comes to exactly as you said, like we are on the edge of the technology, and in different regions we have different kind of resources when it comes to accelerating the knowledge of the edge to the publics. Like the United States have a lot of universities, so basically the innovation pace is much higher over there. But obviously in the Middle East, we are thriving, but we are trying to get there. But when it comes to the experience, I think that like a lot of artists over here are trying to learn about the NFTs and what they can create in that ownership economies. But they are not like that hands-on. They need a lot of guidance. That's one of the things that we need to do as our mission as a community builder is that. When it comes to DeFi, I think it is like basically very preliminary when it comes to the DeFi sophistication. Like you don't see a lot of protocols being built here, like mostly users over there. And yeah, but they can be pretty on the edge. Like they interact with the option protocols, they interact with the recent products that comes to the market, and they have really robust and knowledge-based communities when it comes to understanding what is happening in the market.
That's cool. And lastly, through gaming in Web3 and through Metaverse Alliances, what would you say is the one thing that people who want to engage with their community will need, or more like what would your target audience need from you in order to help them?
So basically, I believe when we're talking about communities, it's like a two-way street, you know, like when you're talking about marketing panels, or, you know, the way how to interact with the company, which is like the business to consumer, it's one way. So you produce the content, they consume it. But when it comes to communities, it's two-way street, right? So you need to be like, it's a dynamic relationship. So I believe as we are onboarding more interesting people to our community, which is like the most important filter for us. People who understand that this is like a 20-year Web3 transformation agenda, not just like one bull run and just get quick rich scheme kind of thing. As we bring in more interesting people, I believe that they create the best synergy to be able to help them proceed with what they want to achieve in the Web3 experience, you know, as a gamer, as an NFT artist. But like, I think inclusion, to be able to educate the community members, to make them understand like what we are talking about when we're talking about the ownership economy. I think that's like the biggest point, to be able to, you know, deliver this message that this is just more than a financial market, to look at it as a stock market. This is a place that you can own your art, own your game, you can own your music. And I think that's like the biggest thing that we can do to our community to deliver that message.
Love it. And if anyone else has any questions about Metaverse Alliances, tag Amiralek in the chat, but I know he's at a party right now, so Amiralek, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening over there. I hope the party, get back to it, have a bunch of fun, and keep on doing your thing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Yeah, obviously, if you have any questions, you want to learn more about Metaverse Alliances, or if you want to join what we're doing, just hit me up. Thank you. Have a good one.
Good night. Boom. And then with that, like, Rizzle, are you the proxy for BB Studios, or what's going on for this crazy furry party in Decentraland battling Flyfrogs and all that ribbit good stuff?
Dude, I've been out here in Decentraland trying to rig this competition, throwing money at all the people voting for me, and I'm still down. I don't even know how this is possible. I feel like BB Studios probably like rigged this competition during, like, you know, instead of like being in Discord, he's like, oh, I can't do that. I got to be out here in Decentraland, like, rigging this competition. Anyway, yeah, totally rigged. Let's talk lots of trash since he's not here. But here's the link for Decentraland. We're definitely in there and voting. And audience can sort of help me out. So in all seriousness, he couldn't get in here, and so trying to like do him some justice. Yeah, I am not above rigging this competition. This is the metaverse. There are no rules. Yes, thank you, Emma Terrier. Yeah, he's not even here. So go vote for me. We're gonna rig the vote. So trying to do him justice because he wasn't able to get in here. I believe this happens every Monday in the Token Smart Discord. He does one of these battles. Yes, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. What you actually do, you vote by getting a POAP, essentially. So there are two voting machines next to each of the NFTs. Thank you, Easy. So 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. They do one of these battles where they put up two NFTs. Yeah, it's essentially a popularity contest. I say battle to the death. You say popularity contest. So, you know, whatever, but something along those lines. So he does these every week, which is why we brought it here to the WIP and brought in the Flyfrogs and everything. So it's cool. And so it's actually a really cool mechanism that I haven't seen before, where you vote. There's only one POAP for the in-world Decentraland event. I see some people trying to hop in. I'll drop the link again. So it doesn't matter who you vote for, and you can only get one POAP. So even if you try and vote twice, it doesn't matter. Yes. Oh, thank you, Flyfrogs. So that's the POAP you get just by participating and voting in the event. So obviously vote for me. But thank you, Easy. but then if you do the social media challenge portion of it, which I believe is tag BB Studios, aka Art or Die, the WIP Meetup, myself, you'll get rolled into winning the losing frog, which at the moment might be my frog. So actually, it's the Flyfrog community frog that is about to potentially get slaughtered unless we can like rally the troops at the last minute here. So yeah. Hop in world, vote for me. But with that, I think we got sort of like a nice tight whip this week with a great speaker panel. BB Studios getting rugged. So unless there's anything else major that I'm missing, actually, you know what? Sandy's, we dropped a link for the guest book in here, so we can probably drop that again. Sandy's back in the house and has not heard the VIP song. And the SpongeBob song is particularly creepy to me specifically. Do we have Dragonate? Do we have the VIP song? Yeah, we need the VIP because she hasn't heard it. Yeah. All right, cool. It's worth. We got some extra time. We normally run a little bit later, so while we're setting up. So anyway, even if you vote for my frog to die, you should still hop in world because after we hear the VIP song, Paradox is going to get set up to take a group shot of us in world and commemorate this, I don't know, success or death of my frog. But one of y'all will get it, most likely.
Rizzo, real quick though, just want to make sure, like, so we're in Decentraland, we go to like where you're standing, and then we like click something to vote on which frog to die.
Yeah, there's a POAP voting machine in there. So if you got in there early and don't see that, it's possible you just need to refresh in order to see the POAP voting machine. But it's very, very clear. There's like a giant arrow pointing down to it, like sort of near where I'm standing. And same thing on the other side. There you go. Melody just posted one.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. So rig the vote, not above it or below it. Okay, thank you, Dragonate. Ready?
Thank the Lord it's Thursday and we meet each other again. The VIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The seas might be rough but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Welcome to the VIP Meetup.
No, that was good. Yes, I love the VIP song. The SpongeBob song, I like the idea of the SpongeBob song. The kids sound like, I don't know. I'm around kids a lot, so maybe I just have like PTSD from being around kids all the time. I have kids and they have friends, and there's like kids in the neighborhood, and they're like always screaming and everything. Yeah. So last chance. Show says Rizzle. Is that a statement or a question or like just a sympathy thing? Last chance to hop in world. Save my frog. I'm going to pass the mic over to Paradox, who has got his own theme song. And we'll do the group shot. So hop in world if you haven't already. Vote for my frog.
Testing.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Right. Dragonate, do your thing, sir.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Thank you very much, Dragonate. So, hey, WIP fam. The WIP FOMO is real. I go away for 1 week for my girlfriend's birthday, and I miss an epic crypto arcade, and now I hear Rizzle is in a battle to the death, and I come back and Sandy's back. So welcome back, Sandy. We've missed you. Everyone send some love Sandy's way, please. Right, so if you have not been listening, or if you have been listening, I'm Paradox. I'm the resident WIP videographer. This is the part of the show where we take a group photo, and I take a little bit of video. And what I do is I edit these videos together every week, and they are uploaded on Rizzle's Twitter. So keep an eye out for that, please. Right, this week we're going to jump straight into it. Let's keep it kind of simple. I want everyone to gather in world in front of the Rizzle Frog banner, please. And I know some people aren't in world yet, and it takes a little while to load in. So, Mr. Dragonate, in about a minute, could you load up maybe like a minute long track? Give everyone a little bit extra time. So, guys, please jump in world in front of the Rizzle banner. We've got about 10 people. Excellent. Right, and what I was going to say is Rizzle and Easy have got the right idea. Please press the B button on your keyboard or the little emote hand icon at the bottom and make it rain, which is money, I believe. And in world, you see a guy with a giant camera above his head. That is me. Cool. I think that's about it. Dragonate, take it away when you're ready, sir. Beautiful. And, hit the music, please. Wonderful. Amazing. Right, and that is everything from me this week, guys. Enjoy the rest of the whip. Rizzle, I wish you the best of luck. Please don't die. And with that, Paradox out. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, man. I made like a last like rally for votes here. I'm like still down 3 or 4. Since BB Studios got rugged, I really have no idea how long this thing goes on for or whatever. So hopefully I catch up. Let's see. It's like, what do we got? 57 to... My screen is all janky. Oh, 57 to 53. So I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Who knows how long this goes on for? Until the winner has more than half. Until the winner has more than half? Is this correct? Easy? How does that work? Okay.
I think so. It's once somebody has overcome a possible win from the other, I think that's when it's basically called. So if there's
based on like a limited amount of co-ops or something?
Yeah, so for example, if there was 200 co-ops and you got to 101, you'd be the winner.
Got it. All right. So I'm in it. Okay, in that case, I'm going to drop the link like one more time and tell people to go vote before I pass the mic over to show. But yo, thank you everybody for turning out tonight. Thank you so much for Sandy for coming back strong on the pre-whip, everybody's help with everything. Paradox for doing the group shot, Carolina Duff for the po-ops. Make sure you sign the guest book and rig the vote for me. And thank you, Carolina, for posting the guest book. And I think that's about it for today. So with that, make sure you stick around. I'm going to pass the mic over to Show right now, who also has his own theme song, Sandy. If you have not heard it, yes, he does. And so we can kick that off right now and get him the mic. Yes.
Wait, is this thing on? Yeah! Yeah!
It's time for the FDs!
Hot takes, opinions, thoughts. Let's go.
Whip fam. Whip fam, how's my audio before I fucking start? Am I 2x2, 5x5? All right, yo. Whip fam. Whip fam. With fam, I have a bunch of in my underwear. It looks like performance art, and things are also dying. I don't know what to do. Maybe someone can come help me with this form of Jackson Pollock splatter paint in my underwear, and we can put a voting counter thingy like we have going on right now in Decentraland. If you are in Decentraland, you can do that shit. And you can vote on these dots. This Rorschach form of artwork in my underwear. But with fam, I am not an edgelord, okay? I just want to put this out there. If you're brand new, if you're like, what is all the screaming? That guy that fucking screams, he's such an edgelord. He's such an incel. I'm like, I'm not. Just because I'm screaming and I like quote unquote, you know, I'm like telling it like it is, like the millions of failed comedians in California, you know, those guys that wear leather jackets and shit, and they're like bitter and angry, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm actually doing edgelord things like saying highly offensive shit or differentiating between the left and the right philosophy in politics and shit, or the biggest thing, you know, which is being misogynistic and absolutely hating women with all, you know, most of the incels with their small penis passion, absolutely hating women. This isn't this. I mean, this isn't that. All right? I'm screaming. I'm always screaming and yelling about crypto and Web3 things. All right? That's what all this small penis passion is about. And our presenters, that's what I'm yelling about. The presenters inspiring me each week to say the absolutely dumbass shit that I'm pretty sure many people out there are thinking, but are too scared to ask out loud. I'm a champion for the stubborn dumbass in the Web3 space. All right? That being said, when it comes to being stubborn, I'm going to talk about this shit. The SEC, and trust me, this has everything to do with our presenters. Just follow along. If you're brand new, you're like, dude, what happened? I thought this is, what does this have to do with what's happened? Just follow me, okay? The SEC currently is by far the most dumbass fucking agency in the history of agencies. This has everything to do with crypto. This has everything to do with Web3, all right? The IRS and the FBI have fallen extremely short in comparison to what the SEC has been doing. All right? I love, you want to know what my favorite agency is? I love the Department of Agriculture and Horticulture. You know, that's my favorite federal agency because, you know, it has the word culture in it. And, you know, and culture is fun. Culture is so fun. But the SEC is not fun. The SEC, who is currently getting its ass kicked in court right now from the original most obnoxious crypto holders in our history, you know, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Ripple holders. Ripple holders, man. To be honest, before the Luna coin, hey, don't make that gift face at me. Don't make that face. If you hear my voice in the voice channel, you know the Ripple holders were like back in the day before the Luna coin and the lunatics came along and took the crown of pure cringe and annoyance. Ripple holders were right there beating back the horde of Litecoin maxis, you know, shitting on everybody. They used to talk the most shit, and they to the point where Bitcoin maxis were like, "Oh my god!" Bitcoin maxis were clutching their pearls at Ripple holders. The smoke and mirrors, right, of the fake Cardano holders who still don't exist apparently were also up in arms because they're like, "God damn it! If someone's gonna be full of shit, it's gonna be us and Charles Hoskinson." And then now the Ripple holders are actually like they're fighting, and I love it. They were the underdogs, and they had a war chest, and they were kicking ass in the fucking courtroom. To the point where the SEC, who has been stalling and holding on for dear life in their clearly asinine and ridiculous lawsuit, right, claiming that Ripple is a security, that XRP is a security, right? They realized that they were fucking with the wrong kid in the schoolyard. They didn't know. They were like, "Wait, is the principal gonna come along? Is the assistant principal who's an asshole? Is the assistant principal gonna come along and set the rules and regulations for this thing?" It's like the hall monitor snitching on you for running to the bathroom so you can make out with your crush. They were hating, but come to find out, right? The SEC has been destroyed, worse than Amber Heard in her trial. The SEC wasn't prepared for the fact that they would be competing against an incredible legal team representing XRP, right? Stopping all their bullshit. It's like, it's so embarrassing, it's so sad. The SEC is crying out for help. They're like, we don't know what to do. We're just going to keep stalling and praying and hoping that some politician can bail us out. They bailed out the banks. They bailed out the fucking airlines. The SEC is like, someone bail us out from our stupidity. They're trying to delay and deflect as hard as they can because, frankly, they were trying to be bullies and thieves and didn't realize that Ripple, once again, was a kid in the schoolyard with Coke bottle glasses because they were smart, but who was also swinging a big-ass eggplant inside of its shorts. The SEC decided that, hey, you know what? We need a win, because, like, we're losing right now. And to be honest, like, I had my assistant doing this whole legal thing. I don't even know what's going on. I had this little pin the tail on the donkey on the wall, and I just told my assistant, hey, put on this blindfold and just pin something. Like, choose a company. Close your eyes and choose one of these coins, and then just let's send the fucking swarm of our legal team at them, and just let's pin the bullshit on one of these. And they didn't realize that the fucking donkey was pinning them back in the ass. So they were like, you know what? We need a win, right? Binance has been a punching bag for years, so let's go after their BNB token and prove that anyone out there is a fraud. Let's go after CZ and Binance. Fuck it, right? But the truth is, they fucked up. The truth is, all they seem to prove is that if they were looking for a really, really full of shit entity or thing, right? If they were looking for a security that failed the Howey test, all they had to do was look in the mirror. Gary Gensler, look in the mirror. You ugly motherfucker! Welcome to the Acties, y'all. I'm your host, Show. You already know. If you have no idea what the hell is going on, this is the portion, this aspect of this entire thing where we just heard three awesome presenters present some cool things and awesome stuff in the Web3 space and things like that. Now it's your turn to provide your opinion, your hot take. If your voice got lost in the sea, the deluge, the swarm, the rain of these empty tokens being dropped in the event space channel, the general channel, now is your time to unmute your microphone and share that opinion. If you felt like you kept repeating something and no one was listening to you, I'm here to listen to your thoughts, your dreams, to all of your sexy secrets. Unmute your microphone, share your secrets in the form of a hot take or an opinion. All right, they said they were telling us cool shit, and I was listening because I'm cool, you're cool, we're cool. So let's listen to the stuff. Yeah. All right. Here's my first hot take. All right, in regards to shout out to our first presenter, Matto, not to be confused with Maddie, or not to be confused with our Matthew. Right. Here are my thoughts about HyperCastle. It was cool, by the way. I like it. You know, I was like, you know what? You know, yeah, I love to deep dive into the code, into the things. I like to know the ingredient. I like to read the ingredients of the McDonald's cheeseburger while I'm biting into it. You know, I like to know I want to know about the riboflavin and the red number 40, you know, and like, you know, I want to know if there's enough hydrogenated soybean oil. I want to get into the crust of the fucking thing. Tours and school trips as a child, they were traumatizing. You know, going on a tour of a thing and learning about the inner secrets and all the other shit, and going on school trips to the aquarium 8 times, I kid you not, as a 3rd grader, because the teacher didn't know what the fuck to do in the class. So this kept taking us out on fucking school trips. It was traumatizing. How many times do I need to look at a fucking beluga whale in the water and then look at the fucking sand crabs and shit? That explains why I'm now here in the Web3 space talking to you. Thoughts?
Since when did this become about whales and belugas?
It's the Web3. It's all about those animals. People assuming these names in order to overcompensate for things that are lacking inside of their pants or whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Man, I used to go to, in New York, we have the Museum of Natural History, we have the Museum of Modern Art, we have the American History Museum of something, the American Indian Museum. But by the way, Indians aren't from India, in case anyone didn't know. So that terminology is all wrong. You know, there were so many fucking places that we went to. And I was like, man, this is a lot of fucking walking. Someone needs to make it easy in the Web3 space for me to visit museums without having to walk. If I'm on a Metaverse platform, I don't want to keep pressing the W button, the A button, the S button, the D button, or the up, left, right, down button, or the fucking Konami code in order to move around up, down, left, right, BA, start. Or select, depending upon if you're playing Mortal Kombat or some other shit, or if you're playing Super Mario World. My point, even though it's not from Konami, my point being is like, god damn it, there's a lot of walking. And then as a kid, when it's lunchtime, you're all dehydrated, and then like your peanut butter and jelly sandwich that your mom made for you and put inside a foil or whatever sandwich you got, if you had like a turkey sandwich or a tuna sandwich, it's all melted because it's been inside your bag heating up, melting. It's congealed. The mayonnaise on your sandwich is congealed into some shit that will probably be presented at the fucking aquarium, at a museum. It's like, wow, this is a study of science. Where the fuck is Carl Sagan? Thoughts?
Carl Sagan is gone. I don't know, man.
The SEC's coming for your beluga coin. It's a security when you got belugas involved.
We cannot stand for peanut butter jelly sandwiches that are flat and dry when we go to field trips.
Disgusting.
You know, all these hot takes. I need to address all these hot takes. You know, the worst thing about going to an aquarium and looking at beluga whales is that you have a higher probability of seeing what's floating, right? The beluga whales aren't the only translucent ivory colored things floating in the water, if you catch my drift, right? Which, by the way, the New York Aquarium is by Coney Island, and we have a term here that's Coney Island whitefish is a term for someone throwing their used condoms into the water. If you float by one, good luck. Okay, but you have a better shot at seeing and experiencing these things than getting rich and becoming a beluga whale and attracting the attention of the SEC And what's worse is if you're swimming in Coney Island and if your peanut butter sandwiches are flat, it's more than likely that it'll fall into the sand and you're getting the wrong kind of sea salt mixed up in that shit. It's terrible. It's inedible. Thoughts?
It reminds me of swamp water. My cousins and I would go to the convenience store and get a slushie, and we would mix all of the flavors and call it swamp water. And that's probably a common thing many people did, but yeah.
Walk into Subway and say, "Hello, I would like a moist sandwich, please," and then leave.
Beautiful.
They provide that anytime they put their tuna fish onto any of that dry ass flatbread. It's oddly soggy when you walk out. Is it tuna? Is it cat meat? I am not 100% sure, but I do know that I'm going to give it to my child when they go on their field trip because, hey, health is wealth. Health is wealth. And also, speaking of swamp water, I can't tell you the swamp water that was accumulating in my shorts during summer camp, going on all these fucking school trips.
Gross.
I can't tell you. I'm sorry, I just went quiet because I'm traumatized. It's PTSD, and it just came up. You notice because if I'm not speaking, it's because I'm having some kind of mental fucking breakdown. Moving on, next subject. Shout out to Metaverse Alliances. That was fun. That was cool. That was interesting. It sounded like a kids party in the background. It was like all I heard were a bunch of kids destroying shit during the presentation. It was cool. Here's my hot take. People in other parts of the world are experiencing the same shit that we're experiencing through a different lens. And it's trippy. I didn't know that other people lived on the opposite side of the world, or the inverse side of the world, or the concave or concise, or any of those other big ass words that you learn as a child and then forget when you're an adult because you don't use it anymore. I didn't know that there were other people in the world experiencing crypto and Web3. Thoughts?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
No!
Part of it cut off, damn it.
I didn't know there were other people. Just us.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
Only I exist.
Right! The metaverse is all about you experiencing yourself. You know what I mean? So if someone else is in the metaverse with you, but like they're not like with you, they're like on the other side of the world. No, Poachy Meats. Hell no. Are you on the other side of the world?
Can't Poachy unmute himself?
Yeah. So there are a lot of people that are getting into Wave 3 like throughout the world. I mean, I'm witnessing like everyone joining with like Polygon and all these Web 2 wallets that are getting mainstream adoption.
There's people like outside, like coming inside.
Yeah, bro, there's people from everywhere. I mean, everyone, is hearing about NFTs, and I mean, everyone wants, even if it's like, a fake NFT or it's not a legit NFT, people just want an NFT, even if it's an ape or, a whale or anything.
Hey, for the record, speaking of people that have been like missing for a while, may I ask, who is this speaking?
Yeah, so this is Danny.
Danny who? What's your last
Danny
name?
Cass.
Oh. Hi, Danny.
Yeah, so I mean, I was here from like the like first whips.
No, actually, there was one you were supposed to be at, and you weren't.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, I got busy. I like onboarded a bunch of people to Web3. I mean, things move fast in a bull market.
And but you came back. You disappeared and found 1 million people and brought them. And then you came back. You found other people in the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people in the world. The only problem is many people have like really high expectations. So they expect, to buy an NFT and it to be the next Bored Ape. So, I mean, there are plenty of people in the world that are just, learning about it, but, many people don't like their expectations on NFTs are maybe not realistic at the moment. I will say that.
There's also a lot of bots who want NFTs. Maybe there's more bots than people.
Bots? Like bodies?
No,
There's a lot of bodies that needs
BOTS, robos.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who can write scripts and like arbitrage like plenty of these opportunities online.
BTS, like the K-pop group. I like K-pop. K-pop's cool. You know what's funny about you mentioned people having unrealistic expectations in regards to interacting with apes and stuff like that. There was a video trending a few days ago. Shout out to Sasal.eth of the Daily Gwei fame. And there was a video of an orangutan in a zoo, right? This kind of comes full circle where, on a school, I guess it's a school trip, a guy was holding out his hands to an orangutan and the orangutan grabbed his shirt and wouldn't let go. And the funny thing is the fucking video, like shout out to Paradox, it wasn't like fisheye, it was one of those motion stabilizer videos. So the orangutan looked trippy as fuck. And like the person was trying to get away, and then the orangutan was like, "No, I want to hug you. I want to hug you so bad." And the guy was like, "No." And then the friend tried to kick them, but the orangutan was had superpowers. So it pushed away the fucking kick and the slap from the friend, and then it started grabbing on so tight. I don't know if anyone saw this. Did anyone see? And then it started holding on to the person's leg, and it was squeezing, and I was like, "This is what we need. This is what we need on school trips, and this is what we need from all the people that Danny Cass brought into the Web3 space, even though he disappeared when he was supposed to present at the WIP 2.5 seasons ago." And I can feel that. I can feel that what the orangutan needed. I could feel it.
I wish that when I had gone to field trips, I could feel the connection of the orangutan just touching my leg and my shirt. But instead, all I saw was it pooping.
Who is this? Who is this person talking?
Who do you
who
think
is this?
it be?
You said
What the hell?
The filter.
Huh?
Do I have a filter on?
Do you? Why are you asking me questions you know the answers to?
I
Who is
am the
this?
filter. It's the Sandy Meows filter.
Are you filtered?
I'm filtered.
Oh gosh.
You know what else needed a filter? And this is a perfect segue into our last presenter / interactive thing going on. Aside from my coffee filter being not cleaned, I need to clean it so I can get more of this caffeine in my veins and shit like that. Art or die. The art, you know, I don't like. I imagine if as kids we went on field trips and we looked at two competing artists, you know, and like this is a natural filter is creating competition between two shitty things, you know, so filtering out the shit and the poop from whoever the hell that was who was just speaking a few minutes ago, and like you know, it was my hot take is this. If we had more of these derivative projects, right, competing against one another, comparing the artwork, I'm pretty sure it would filter out all of the unhealthy shit and maintain more healthy shit for us to consume if you're into that. No kink shaming. Thoughts?
Filtering out BS is always a good thing.
You know, speaking of this, right? This just in speaking of a filter, you know, shout out to Watcher Guru. You know, they've been kicking ass when it comes to crypto news reporting. I'm so disappointed in Decrypt.co. They fell off a long time ago. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But there was breaking news that speaking of a filter, right? Sometimes you need to hear some things. And this is what has to do with what I was talking about, the SEC and everything else. Terra employees reportedly confirmed to the SEC that Do Kwon cashed out $80 million a month prior to the Luna UST crash. And in addition to that, in an interview with a South Korean media outlet, an Anchor developer who was associated with UST, they were propping it up, right? Claimed that he knew that, well, that Do Kwon knew that 20% and a 20% interest rate wasn't sustainable and that it would eventually collapse.
And remember, he wanted it to, too.
It's kind of like if Do Kwon wanted it to collapse, like you just said, eloquently, mind you, you speak terribly, mind you, and imagine he's working as a worker in the aquarium and he's cleaning out the fish tank, right? And he's like, you know what? All of this stuff is probably valuable, you know? I'm getting paid by the aquarium. And everything that's being caught in the filter, all the gold watches from the rich motherfuckers trying to pet the beluga whales, you know, dealing with the horseshoe crabs, engagement rings being lost, you know, and all kinds of like, you know, maybe the eggs of the horseshoe crabs are worth millions somewhere else. Like, it's in his best interest. It's in his best interest to filter shit out. So it's in our best interest, right? From having all the motherfuckers wearing the Rolexes and all this other kind of shit who are making artwork competing. Maybe we need to make these derivative shitty ass projects compete with each other so we can filter them the fuck out, and then we can steal them like how that particular ape community again got fucking hacked on Saturday for the 5th fucking time. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's never bad to, you know, have a lot of derivatives. I mean, it brings in a lot of people to the space, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that are doing it off of like stolen IP, and you know, so I mean, if there's ways that you can, you know, like innovate on it, and you know, maybe bring it at a lower cost, you can filter out, you know, the junk in the space.
Danny Cass, I needed a derivative project of you 2.5 seasons ago when you were supposed to present at the WIP, and I didn't have that. And I'm upset. So now I'm cleaning out the filter traps here in the New York City Aquarium. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
Well, back then, I mean, I wasn't really making derivatives back then. I mean, I was just, you know, like making like Mona Lisas, just like generating that. I mean, back then, like it was a really early like time. I didn't even like know this space would blow up as much as it did.
I mean, literally of your DNA, of your RNA, of your mRNA, of your bones, right?
No thanks.
I needed a clone of you, literally in the voice channel, saying exactly what you're saying right now. It's too, like that famous song, it's too late to apologize. It's too late. A. Lastly speaking, y'all. Lastly speaking, look. School field trips have been a thing that have been happening during the WIP for ages, and we love them. It made me feel like a kid again. School field trips and holding hands with your crush, but then your teacher forcing you to hold hands with the kids that you hate with the snotty nose and shit, or whatever the fuck. That shit was torturous. Maybe if we weren't stuck focusing on ourselves, and we would realize that there were other school trips happening in the world too. There are other people in the world, and they're having experiences at the New York Aquarium and the Museum of Modern Art and American Museum of Natural History, looking at the big ass dinosaur bones too, and hoping that they fucking fall on your teacher. And maybe just one day we can have, these schools battle it out. School trips or die. School trips or die. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming through to this edition of the Athletes. Shout out to the entire leadership team here at meme.com and all the marble card holders who are making marble cards happen and stealing IP and then making millions of dollars. Oh, I'm kidding. Yo, shout out to the WIP crew. We love each and every single one of you. Welcome back, Sandy. I love you so much. Yo, last but not least, shout out to the WIP fam. WIP fam. Yo, thank you. Oh my God, it is hot. It is hot. It is hot. Thank you, y'all. Much love.
Epic WIP today. Welcome back to the Meow Meow. We'll be over in Token Smart in just about 2 hours for the Thursday Cypher. And then we got jazz afterwards, so hope to see y'all over there. Peace, love, and whipsy.
One, two.